Get your mats if you're going to do some stretch outs. Line up if you're walking a wall. Stand up if you're walking in place. Get your weights if you're going to do some weight exercises. Get your chair if you're doing chair exercises. Stand up if you're walking in place. Jump on your bikes. Start your treadmill. Yeah, y'all.
Power on.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for coming on a walk, y'all. Like, comment, share. Tell an uncle, tell an auntie, tell a cousin, tell a friend to subscribe and exercise with me. Yes, indeed. I'm looking at these cameras. Hey. Yeah, y'all. The hop up and down. The hop up and down. I'm on the hoppy. Yeah, I miss y'all. Ooh. When I look at the video, I see that we have a steady stream of 68 subscribers that has been doing this 40-minute walk. I don't know how many on FB, but whoa, thank y'all for the encouragement. I hope it's doing something for y'all, because it's doing something for me, especially with that cottage cheese. I don't know why women, or men for that matter, who have cottage cheese and they thighs, that shit is painful. That is painful. They, I guess like grease or anything else, they become very hard. They hurt. Alright, let me give me that a minute. Yeah, they hurt, y'all. But this 40-minute walk and Jamaican black castor oil has gotten rid of them. Not so painful. So I guess we need the 40-minute walk. I used to go to the gym workout for 2 hours, 2.5, 3 sometimes. But since I've gotten older, you know, in the COVID thing. But let's get to our topic. When TV came about in the 1950s, they say, and I was born 7 years later. And by the time I really got to understand the TV, it had to be in the early 60s, like I had to be like 5 or 6. And we used to sing commercials. They used to dance to them because it was TV, it was all new. The show, the commercials was all the same. We would sit there, you know, they had the soap operas, and that's what they were, they sold soap. So you sit there, they would sell the wash machines and different things like that, and the commercial was as important, as the show. I'm trying to get this air to me. Ha ha! My mission. You see the big fan sitting right there? But I had a lot to do this weekend. And I still didn't get all done. Okay, we better. So, we loved them. Of course, they went and tried to get the detergent that was being advertised. And I tell you, after a while, we were more excited about the commercials. Now, I remember the first commercials we used to do in the house. Lay's potato chips. You just can't eat one. So, I remember us going and taking out a little nickel or whatever and getting our bag of air. We used to call it a bag of air back then. And you would ask, can I have a potato chip? Can I have a... And they said, no, because you just can't eat one. And you said, no, if you give me one, I'm not going to want anymore. So they would give you one. Then you would beg for another one. Hey, thanks for coming on the walk. Oh, Denote Anderson, I'll read your message at the break. Thanks. So, we would ask. And then, that's the message we got. Then, no, Brill Cream was for the men. So another commercial that we used to run around and dance about. Oh, definitely on the cartoons, we wanted everything that we saw, because it was always on the children's show. And they would load it up with commercials. And, of course, your parents didn't like it, because then you would start asking. But before I forget this, we used to have to pay for TV, like there was a slot thing, like you put a quarter in and you push it. I remember a neighbor having it when we didn't have any TV. So we would take a quarter or whatever, we would crowd into their house and we would put it in. And I think it would run for about an hour. Commercials. So then I went down south, and a lot of their commercials were cult focused. So I don't remember too many of them. Didn't like TV between Hee Haw and the European, African, Southern pastors. Oh, I'll read it on the break. I got another message. Yay! Anyway. So, then I came back to New York at the end of the 70s, beginning of the 80s, and Cablevision came out. The wires underneath. That was their big thing, that it was wires under the ground and stuff. And no commercials. That was the claim to fame, because by then on regular TV, if it was 15 minutes worth of show, it's 15 minutes worth of commercials. I mean, you could still turn away and forget at what you're looking at. You'd have to wait till the reruns to really get the show. So, cable was great. No commercials. Isn't that something? You can look at anything. So we just looked at all the old things that we couldn't look at because it had commercials. Like if it was a half-hour show, it could be 15 to 20-minute commercial, 10-minute show. Because you had the shows from the national thing, commercials nationally, and then you had commercials locally. So that's why the program was always full of commercials. So, but when cable came, it got rid of it, so it says. And then time goes on. I really couldn't afford cable. So then I said, oh, let me get cable. I think my daughter had to be in high school, 11th grade, because I figured 11th grade, because I figured we can get the cable now, because it ain't going to do anything to her. If she ain't made it yet, she ain't going to make it. So We go, we get the cable, and I'm looking, and I said, commercials. I can finally afford to have cable, and it has commercials. So then the commercials tell you you had to pay a different tier to not have the commercials. So that's when I was kind of like through with cable. I didn't get another cable. I was like, what sense is this? A corporation, cable. They are charging advertisers to advertise on their cable channel. Then they're charging you to stop the advertisers that are paying them to show to you, and then you pay them to stop the advertise. Biggest fuck ever. So now, I turn on Netflix. I haven't been looking at it for a while, other than the Korean and the Chinese dramas and shit. I haven't been touching it. So I go over there and check it out. I was like, oh, you know, my daughter's paying for this. Let me go over and see. And I said, oh, Reba. Remember, I'm from the South. I'm used to those accents. I worked volunteered at the hospital. Those were the accents I talked to. Those were the accents I was around. Though I love Dolly Vision, but every time I put my black face up there, anyway, so, now you gotta pay. Prime said they allow people with Medicaid, food stamps, stuff like that, to not pay as much for Prime, if not get a free Prime. But commercials. So I said, oh, that's what it is. Oh, they got an audience now. So now you have to look at the commercials. Or you pay Prime to block the commercials. Here we go. Because they don't, European Africans, they don't do nothing different. They take money from the advertisers to advertise. Then they take money from you so you won't see the advertising. And they win. Win, win, win. So, I'm looking at Netflix, and I'm like, what the hell? What is this commercial doing on Netflix? Well, if you don't pay to watch, you don't pay to block the commercials, then you have to watch the commercials. Win-win. And win-win for the advertisers paying Netflix to run commercials. So now you have to pay more to block the commercials. So you also pay. Ain't that some shit? But y'all talk about hating corporate? That's fucking corporate. Do y'all see that? Y'all admiring them people like, oh, they on the boat. They wealthy. They just fucked you. And they still doing it. feel, though I'm on the bottom of the pyramid in this YouTube world, but I think if you give enough creativity as far as videos are concerned, but you ain't make it when you one of them big ballers, we should get some kind of discount on getting away from them commercials. But again, this is a corporation. So even I have to pay to block videos. To block commercials. Yes. So I only look at shows on YouTube. Yeah, I be into YouTube streets. But I only watch streets that have very little and very few commercials. I'm going for that person like me that I can look at and not have a commercial jump in. I tell you. And what are commercials? They're subliminal messages. Get in here. I had to stop listening to the radio. This is what I hear. Diabeticals, the C. If your curl's told this way is done, and you run to the doctor because you probably have blah, 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 blah. Toe ain't going the right way, you probably have some tropical disease type thing. Come see us right away. I don't listen to the radio anymore in the car or in the house. I used to try to catch that little 5-minute news, but that little 5-minute news is surrounded by at least 5 minutes of commercials. Healthcare. Let me tell y'all something about insurance. I did medical coding. Dylan, let me tell you something about insurance. They're not in business to do shit for you. They're in business to make money. You know who gets money out of insurance? Scammers, bullshitters, and liars. No decent person will ever get anything from insurance. I'm 66 right now. I can't think of one thing. As you see, they say I got Medicare insurance, but I'm in collections. So I can't see one thing that insurance does. So I'm listening to that commercial, and it's $4,000. The government will give you $4,000. Bitch, if the government would give me $4,000, it would come directly to me. I would have to need a middle person. But you see what they do is, they tempt you with that food. You can get food stamps. And you run your happy ass over there. And then they say, you have to have, what is that called? A permanent care provider? Or some bullshit like that. He get you in there. He says, you need this test. And you gotta get this test. And my cousin does this test. And my father does this test. And my mother does this test. And my brother. Then you go. And you know what the insurance says? Oh, we don't pay for that test. That's going to have to come out your pocket. Oh, no, you can't do that test. No. That's not covered. They're not in the circular system developed. It's just all a mind fuck. The body heals itself. Tell it. Ask it. And if not, enjoy this human experience while you have it, and when matter and energy separate, let matter and energy separate. I can't even tell y'all. Whew. We coming along. First 20 minutes. And I'm sweating. I gotta go upstairs and jump in the shower, y'all. Which wakes me up all the way to like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. The life, y'all. So, no. Then it's always going to be something wrong with you. I've never had a mammogram. I've never had that GI bullshit. If you can't belch, you're blocked up. Unblock yourself. So many natural things. If you belch and you feel that belch all the way to here, ain't nothing wrong with the goddamn track. They told us, if you didn't get a GI tract, you'll die. If you don't get a mammogram, you won't die. That's what's commercials. I wouldn't pay for that shit ever. Ever. That's what we got the library for. Oh, y'all, I'm sweating. Whew. 20 minutes on a Monday is a hard 20 minutes. From coming from the weekend, it's a hard 20 minutes, y'all. Whew. I got pulled. First, I gotta cut my hair, but I gotta wait till after the freeze. Hey, y'all! Thanks for coming on the walk. Hey, Devontae Anderson! Thanks for being on the walk. Good, Granny. Oh, thank you, love. Video to 101 minutes. I'm trying to read the stuff, y'all. Happy Valentine's Day. Okay, love Granny's song called Nothing. Thank you so much. Yes. Oh, y'all, I don't even know. I'm sweating, and when I do this, here we are. I'm trying to. Hey, Caleb. Oh, thank you, Caleb. Thank you. Oh, I'm talking about commercials, Angel. As we walk, and you got to talk about something. That's how you keep yourself able to continue to walk. As they call it, busy talk. Busy talk. If I stop walking, y'all, I don't talk about people because the people are how the government makes them. The people are how the government makes them. So that's what we talk about here. But basically, I hope you're working out. Yes, indeed. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So we start our second 20 minutes. So, that's why I love the library. Yes, yes, yes. Love audio cassette books. Love, not audio cassette books, just audio books. Love them, love them, love them, love them. I don't need your commercials. I don't want your commercials. I will not pay for your commercials. You can put them on. If I choose to watch them, I will. And if I choose not to watch them, then I won't. But I'm not going to pay you to block them. And then they pay you to make sure I get it. And the only one that's winning is the corporation. So, let me do this, y'all. Woohoo! So, no, I'm not paying to stop commercials from coming through. And I also think about the creators. Because I saw something today under Google. It said it'll give me a discount off of TikTok. A $10 discount off of TikTok. I didn't understand that. My daughter didn't tell me she was paying for TikTok. Or is that the future that's coming? Well, once these corporations in this on this penal colony take care, they gonna flood TikTok with more commercials than you ever thought possible. I know they got some on there now, but whoo, you ain't seen nothing. That's what that's all about, I believe. I tell you, maybe Instagram don't have no commercial, but I couldn't take two government social medias. You know, I could do Facebook and Instagram. I couldn't do two government social medias. YouTube, I believe for the most part, is not owned by the people on this penal colony. Yeah, my back feels good. This 40-minute walk is awesome. That fat that's in your legs, I gotta get rid of this. I'm working on it, y'all. And that's what was the pain in my leg. Y'all go back in the videos. I mean, sister, I used the mesh stocking and everything to squash those fat, they call it cottage cheese. It is not. It is cottage rocks. Oh. And I looked at my legs because remember, we in the 4th week of our 40-minute walk. And I look at my leg and the cottage is gone, y'all. And so is the pain. I just gotta remember not to lean over my hip. But yeah, something so simple, so wonderful, and so healthy. And I think that's it for the commercial. I pay for the no commercial. Oh yeah, I think about on YouTube. If I pay to block commercials, what are the creators getting? Don't they get paid by commercials? That's what I thought I read. I don't know. I think I'm coming into like 500 subscribers. Nothing changes too much at FB because I'm not live. So, you know, there's a lot of creative people, and yes, I do look at the commercials, especially for the shows that I like. Because in my head I'm saying, they said you're supposed to get some money from me watching these commercials. And then I always look, I comment. Now, when I comment on Dolly Vision, I don't get too much response. I think that every now and again I see a sister pop up. But I'm used to dollies. I looked at dollies on the hee-haw. I listen to dollies on the radio. You was in somebody's car or something, you heard the dollies. And that's people who talk with that's European Africans who talk with that southern drawl. You get used to it. But still, even when you come up in the comments, you can see how they side-eyed you. They be side-eyed you. And then I look at True Crime Squad because they tell me about what's going on in Utah and those powerful Mormons and LDF, DZ, and all these cults. Which brings me to the point, y'all, of election time. These cults get these little girls with their blonde hair their Catholic schoolgirl skirts, their lacy ankle and patent leather shoes, and march them around the politicians. As their daddies come behind them, telling the politicians what they want done. By then, them politicians, which I call rectum bandits, but they've always been pedophiles. Anyway, they mind so messed up from looking at them little girls march around them in them little lacy ankles, socks, them patent leather shoes, and them little pleated dresses with the puffy shoulders, that they will give them cults anything they want. Look out for it now. And then they'll bring out the peroxide bleach blondes, and they'll stand there and they'll tell you the joys of motherhood. How you gotta follow your man. How this little body help you. Maybe she'll have a low cut top on. Maybe she'll have a tight dress. And no politicians don't know what to do. That kickstand is sticking so hard it can't, no blood getting to the brain or nothing. The kickstand is taking all the blood. They can't think of nothing but sex. So then, when it come time to make their decisions, they don't forget the little girls. They don't forget them gauze, them low-cut top, and little tiny waist. And then they take that kickstand and they let that kickstand do the voting. Don't waste your time, millennials. Unless you have some kids that you can bring to Capitol Hill and such, or the Capitol Hills on these penal colony, and parade them around the politicians, you ain't got a chance in hell. Also, all the politicians know that the cults supply the military. That's why I don't understand why these foreign countries is letting these, as they call missionaries, into their country. They come back and go to war against you. They come back and tell all your shit to this government. They ain't never no friend of yours. They ain't never gonna help you. So that's why the cults get the money. They supply the army. Now I remember as a kid, well, a teen, in my grandmother's South Carolina church. Baptist. Southern Baptist. Ooh, child. It's where the black people keep themselves enslaved. And tortured. And tortured. So, as I was in the choir, we used to have to sing this song. We are soldiers in the army. We have to fight, although we have to die. We have to hold up the blood-stained banner. We have to hold it up until we die. I couldn't understand. We'd march around this church singing this. Everybody would keep jumping up. And then Pastor come. Tell us how we supposed to give our lives for that pasty-faced European African y'all call Jesus. choose to stop our lives and go and work for him in the armed forces. At least once a month. It was like a war cry. Now, after I got out of high school, didn't find a job. And even though it was for summer, and though I was registered to go to school, I had my part-time job. I couldn't get a full-time one. And I went and registered for the Army. And them ancestors were screaming. They were screaming. I could barely think. I know one day when they said you didn't pass test, I said, thank goodness. And then I went, what happens then? I'm supposed to fight. Remember I came from my grandmother's Southern Baptist church. I'm supposed to fight. After all those years of being in that Southern Baptist church, the thing that I came out of that affected me the most was that I was supposed to join the Army and fight. They say, you know how happy I am when I would think that I would give my life for these ones on this penal colony? I can't imagine every African American ancestor is crying out every time y'all go and into that army and any service. This is a penal colony. How the hell are you gonna go fight to free somebody else and we over here? Listen, just because you have one running water in the toilet, don't mean you're free. They groomed us for the military. All the cults groom you to go in the military. That's why the orange shit stain made sure during the COVID that they got so much money. That was the plan. You supply the human lives and we'll pay you the money. I can't even tell y'all. And what did they get back when they came back from the army? I'll tell you my father got. Tell you what he got. He got a chance to stand up from Virginia to Charleston, South Carolina on the back of the fucking bus in his uniform. That's what they gave him. You want to see what I saw? What they gave to the soldiers, especially African Americans from Vietnam? Tell you what they gave them. Needles to shoot heroin. Heroin to shoot up needles. That's all they gave them. For laying down their lives. For carrying the bloodstained banner. That's what they got. I don't know that Desert Storm bullshit. What they got, Agent Orange and Crazy? And now, we just security guards to either protect the Saudis oil or to help them take the little countries and take the oil away from them. Now that's what we are. The blood-stained banner is called the oil-stained banner. You got to hold up the oil-stained banner. So now, when you register in the military, that's what I call you junkyard dogs, because all y'all besides rectum bandits, you're all bandits. And then you protect the bandits who steal the oil from others. Ain't no blood-stained banner. It's an oil-stained banner. And you know who makes money and gets shit from holding up the oil-stained banner? Wealthy people. You still get high prices on gas. It didn't matter. If there was an oil well that came out that spewed oil where the whole world could have oil for 1 billion years, still wouldn't happen. They find some way to make it charge so much that you couldn't get to it. And then they would deplete it. If they had to take all of it and throw it in the ocean. Every oil, what is it called? The fuel oil boats, every accident inked. Telling you, once you'll start seeing these folks as European Africans, you'll see they do nothing different. Since they crossed over to Europe, and since Europe crossed over here, they don't do anything different. Whew, we did it, y'all. We did it. Another 40 minutes completed. Yes, y'all. Whew. Yeah. Oh, yes, I didn't see Ellen. And a few more. But just because they don't comment don't mean they ain't watching. And I appreciate all y'all who do come in the chat. It's just hard for me to chat and exercise. I don't sit down and stare at the computer and can push buttons. I'm exercising. I'm working up a sweat. This blood is taking this oxygen up here, and I'm getting a rush. I get a rush. So, whew, I get a rush. So, and I'm not close enough to the camera, so it's not like I can sit there and talk to you like someone who sits down and just talks and push buttons. I'm sweating, y'all. I'm working out. Whew. Yeah, y'all. Okay, Monday wasn't so bad. I was like, oh boy. Well, I did 2 loads of clothes. I have to quarter my mopping thing because that really wears me out, you know. And look at that, like that. And look at that, like that. And look at that, like that. Ooh, here we go. Ooh. Here we go. Ooh. 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 Let's see. Yeah. Like, comment, share. Tell an uncle, tell an auntie, tell a cousin, tell a friend that we're walking our 4th week. This is our 4th week of walking for 40 minutes. We have until the end of May. I'm not going to rush it because I'm telling you, I look at these legs and even now, remember that pain that used to come up? That was fat. That was that hard, fatty shit that was getting on my knees and my thigh. Okay, squeeze your gut, tuck in your elbow, neither up nor down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good luck. Squeeze your gut, tuck in your elbow, neither up nor down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and one for good luck. Who? Like, comment, share. Tell her uncle, tell her auntie, tell her cousin, tell her friend to subscribe and exercise with me. Thank you for coming on the walk. Thanks for the support. And have a good evening. And I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for coming on the walk.